Well, several countries in the region are looking vulnerable to this possibility. In particular, Nomura is pointing at South Korea and Philippines. South Korea mostly on the geopolitical angle, but also on the economics, and the Philippines mostly on the economics.
Walk us through, David, just quickly, why the Philippines is looking vulnerable in this case. What do we stand to lose?
Well, the Philippines is one of the countries, among Asian countries, is one of the most exposed to trade to the U.S. About 15% of Philippine exports go to the U.S. That's more than, say, Singapore or Malaysia or Indonesia. And at the same time, the Philippines has a huge community of expatriates living in the U.S. About 35% of all Filipinos living overseas live in the U.S. And they account for around 31% of all remittances back to the Philippines. So that's a big deal for the Filipino economy. And were Trump to have a significant effect on migration, which is one of his biggest points in the campaign, then that may be detrimental for the Filipino economy. At the same time, the Philippines has made great strides on the business process outsourcing sector. So there's a lot of these business processes being conducted in the Philippines for American companies or other foreign companies. And this is growing very fast, and in about 2 years, Nomura says, this will account for as much as all remittances in the Philippines. So were that to be affected by Trump plans on the economic side, that would be pretty bad for the Philippines as well.
Well, David, to be fair, there seems to be a growing sense of protectionism everywhere you look in the world today. How far does the American Constitution, how far will it allow Donald Trump to go?
Well, the Constitution actually allows any U.S. president to go quite far, more than people would think. There is a Trade Act enacted in 1974 that will give the president the ability to just slap some tariffs on any country, really, if in case of a sustained balance of payments deficit. Right, so that may put several countries in Asia on the crosshairs of any potential American president. But this would be tariffs up to 15%. If you want to go for higher tariffs than that, then you need the International Trade Commission of the U.S. To give you the green light for that. And that's happened in the past already. And there are several cases pending now with the ITC in the U.S. For example, Ronald Reagan in 1987, following one of these decisions, he slapped 100% tariffs on several Japanese products, including TV sets at the time and computers. Even Barack Obama, in 2009, he went for a 35% tariff on Chinese tires. So this is a real threat, and there is a range of possibilities that any American president can choose between.
I guess my last question on this matter, David, is given how erratic Donald Trump's messaging has been over his campaign, how seriously is Nomura taking the possibility of a Trump presidency?
Yeah, well, on the one hand, they say that after Brexit, Trump presidency is more likely. More than half of the respondents, of the investors that took this survey, they said that Brexit made it more likely. But on the other hand, only 40% think that Trump will actually be president, and 60% may believe that it will be Hillary Clinton. So most think it will be a Clinton presidency rather than a Trump presidency. Then again, there's also another interesting finding in the survey that a large majority, I think it's about 75%, they think that Trump would pivot a little bit to the center after the election. So they're saying, well, even though the threat is real, there's also, some silver lining in that most people tend to go for some moderation while in office. Nomura itself is not making any particular call on the election, but they are saying that on the account of the promises and the campaign pledges made by Donald Trump during the primaries, and now in the latest Republican convention, he's probably the most extremist mainstream candidate the U.S. has had in several decades.
Right. All right, we're going to have to leave it at that. We'll find out in just a few months. David Roman, live from Singapore. Thanks for your reporting.